Yo guys, what's up? It's me, Skurrus. Today, I want to show you the most efficient macros that you can have in order to heal your team up as good as you can. Don't make mistakes, be efficient yourself, and let's just head right into it. And before I start with the macros, let me show you two very important add-ons that you need in order to make those macros more efficient. So, the first add-on is called FrameSort. And as the name suggests, this add-on sorts the frames, right? So, we have this ordering section right here, and I put myself as a healer on order 1, on position 1. So I'm always shown on top of the group. I'm always frame 1. And as the others, it doesn't matter, right? You barely play with tanks. You can put that as 5. You can put melees as 2. It doesn't matter because it's random. Your mates are random in shuffle, right? Or even in 3v3, 5v5. No, that doesn't exist anymore. 2v2. It doesn't matter as long as you put yourself at the very top where you belong, okay? Okay, so you have a lot of settings that you can use and play around with. So player, you are the player. Put yourself on top, put yourself on top, put yourself on top. Even in mythics, even in world PvP, it doesn't matter. You always want to be on top so your macro will always work. It doesn't really make sense if your self-focusing macro doesn't work because you're sometimes on frame 2, you're sometimes on frame 3 or 4 or whatever. So you always want to be on top. Alright, I'm not going to repeat myself. The first macro I want to show you is friendly 1, 2, 3 macros, because I'm a real enthusiast of 1, 2, 3 macros. Not overly, but I do use them. I love them. And my favorite is obviously friendly 1, 2, 3. You want to focus your party by using macros and not clicking them manually, because that would just mean that you're super inefficient and probably your team is going to die multiple times because you're too busy actually moving your cursor around and clicking on their frames and then looking at your spells and then losing the control of your character as well, because you don't know what's happening around your character if you have to use your cursor every time to do this. You want to click 1, 2, 3. You want to push it actually. Don't be a clicker. So this is the macro that you want. Don't pay attention to this. I don't know why my game always keeps adding these two things. Slash hashtag brain fart. Hashtag FrameSort frame 1. And then slash target at none alive. That's always going to be you. You're going to be focusing yourself with this macro right here. And then second one for frame 2 and frame 3. Very simple. I put those ones here in a little box I made for my very important macros. And if you're wondering why the show tooltip is a cow, that's my average teammate. Anyways, let's not get into this too long. Let's go right into the enemy 1, 2, 3 macros, which is very self-explanatory. This is my enemy 1, 2, 3 macros. And yeah, it starts with hashtag FrameSort enemy frame. Don't put a 1 there, enemy frame counts as a 1. Slash target at none and alive. And then again, we got enemy frame 2 and enemy frame 3. Very simple macros, and that's exactly what you want if you want to efficiently focus your enemies, because that's what you occasionally do as a heal as well. No matter if it's if you are a shaman, you want to flame shock or lava surge somebody. If you're a priest, you want to dispel somebody. If you want to holy fire somebody after you chastise him. You know, there's so many things that you can do. So you got to use those too. You never want to manually target anybody because that's inefficient. And there we go. Next macro is called Fade, because we use Fade. Doesn't matter which spec we use, discipline or holy. We use Fade in order to get rid of a CC that's being cast on us, right? We don't get rid of it, we prevent it. So before anybody casts, for example, Fear on us, we use Fade, right? But I don't think I have to tell you that. You probably know that yourself. And you want a stop casting macro before the fear hits you, right? Imagine Fear and Flash Heal is being cast at the same time, and you don't know, oh, can I Flash Heal first before the fear is coming through? Probably not. You're gonna get feared if you don't do that. And what are you gonna do now? You need to manually stop casting by moving forward or jumping or whatever. But you don't want to do that. You want the stop casting fade macro. So let's cast the spell. Oh, I'm getting feared. Boom. There we go. You didn't get feared. Congratulations. That macro is super important. So it is slash stop casting and then slash cast fade. Very simple. Very simple. Next macro is going to be very efficient as well. So if you are healing in the arena, you want a movement speed boost. What do you use? You use Angelic Feather. And you can use that anywhere on the map. But why would you? Why would you? Because if you put it there, and I am my mate, I'm probably running, like, I'm not even paying attention to this feather right there because I'm doing something else. I'm chasing the enemy. I'm getting CC'd. I'm rooted. I'm whatever. I don't need the feather. I don't need the feather as a DPS player really, because I'm mostly gonna miss it anyways. So as a healer, you want to always put it on yourself. That's why you need this macro, which you probably already saw that I did it accidentally right there. Slash cast at player. At player means it spawns at my feet. You don't even see it. Slash cast at player, Angelic Feather, slash stop spell target. So look at this right now. It's on. I'm gonna cast it right now. You're not even gonna see the feather. Look at it. Boom. Okay. Super good. Even if I'm running, I'm not even missing it. Even if I'm running super fast. Yeah. And this one would have probably been missed anyways, because the DPS didn't run into it, or you misplaced it, or something else. So this will be a wasted movement speed opportunity. So you use it on yourself. Even if you're jumping, you're never gonna miss the feather. Very, very important macro. Let's get into some more macros which I got, which is cancelform. Cancelform spirit, which is this. Show tooltip Spirit of Redemption. Don't forget PvP talent. You need to write this as well. PvP talent. Slash cast Spirit of Redemption PvP talent. Slash cancelform Spirit of Redemption PvP talent. So, imagine you're using Spirit right now because your team is in trouble, but all of a sudden some idiot mate like runs away from you, LOSs you, and you need to cancel that Spirit. But what are you gonna do? Are you gonna really right-click the icon on the top right and lose track of your mates? No, you're gonna click it right again. Boom. You just canceled that. You just canceled that. Because you need it. I mean, it's always a pain to cancel one of your best CDs, right? But sometimes you really have to do it. Because other than that, yeah, your mate is gonna die. So you don't want your mate to die. You rather cancel it 5 seconds early. Okay? So that's what you need. You need a cancel macro for Spirit of Redemption. What else do you need? You need Chastise 1 to 3. Sorry to all the Discipline Priest players. Chastise is one hell of a spell. I love it. I really do. And what you need is a 1 to 3 macro, which also works with a FrameSort. So the enemy healer is, for example, always enemy frame 1, which is always this button right here. So you can remember it and always use this exact. It's muscle memory, right? You want some muscle memory if you play arenas. Hashtag show tooltip blah blah blah. Hashtag FrameSort enemy frame 1. Slash cast at none exists harm. Holy word chastise. Holy word chastise. Don't ask me why it's written there twice. You have to do it like that. Don't argue, please. And the same thing for enemy frame 2 and enemy frame 3. So very simple, but one of the best macros that you can have. And now come some controversies. I personally do not use Leap of Faith macros, and I do not use Power Infusion macros, because I think they're highly risky, okay? They're very risky, because if I accidentally use the wrong button of Leap of Faith of this macro, we're probably dead. We're probably cooked because I life gripped. Instead of the 5% teammate that I really want to grip before he dies as a last resort, I grip the one with 100% HP and boom, the game is over. He's going to be like, whoa, what are you doing, man? You threw the game. Oh, I'm so sorry, man. Yeah, I really do not want to make this mistake. by accidentally gripping the wrong target. So I do it myself. I do friendly 2 or friendly 3, whoever is in danger right now, and I manually do the one leap of faith that I do have. I'm gonna use this button and save my mate instead of thinking twice, oh, is it frame 1 or frame 2? Same thing for PI. I don't want to accidentally give PI to the warrior. I want to give it to the fire mage, you know? So I only have one PI, which I use on the target that I'm targeting, right? Very simple explanation. If you want it, here it is, FrameSort frame 1 / cast at non-access, leap of faith. Here we go. Same thing for PI. I'm not gonna say it right now, it's I'm not Eminem. Here we go. And as a last macro that I want to show you, we got mind control. If you're one of the few risky players that actually use mind control, I personally don't. I don't use mind control at all. I use 6% stamina instead because it's more useful than playing a risky game. Because I don't want to CC myself, I don't want to stand in the open, and you know, it can be situationally very useful. It can win you games, but it can also lose you games. So I don't want to play this game. But if you want to play MC, you can use this. FrameSort enemyframe, and then 2 and 3, and then / cast at non-access harm, mind control. Very easy, okay? Those are the macros that I do use. You can obviously use those macros at different classes and specs as well. Instead of Chastise, you can use Paralyze, okay? If you're a Mistweaver, you can use Hex, you can use Hodge, you can use anything. It doesn't matter. So those macros are super useful for any class because you can just change them to whatever spec that you're playing right now. And yeah, win some games. Don't be trash. I hope you learned something today. Your teacher is proud of you, which is me. Yeah, go like and subscribe. I'm gonna make more guides for Resto Shaman is gonna be next. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye, peace.